recreational walkers to competitive racers, Adelaide's annual City to Bay Fun Run attracts a diverse lineup of abilities and outfits.
No, I'm starting at a slow pace.
And this group ticks both boxes.
Our outfit gets a few reactions for different reasons, probably because of its outrageous name.
Ben Wondersits, or Wundy, is a fifth-generation farmer with a successful cropping operation at Maitland on South Australia's Yorke Peninsula. While his business has gone from strength to strength, when Ben hit his 40s, he found his body was doing the opposite.
We were all finished playing footy, had a family, and I think from sort of 30 onwards, we just began to obviously eat a bit of fast food, go to kids' sport, probably really lost our will for our own physical fitness.
That will has come a long way. At daybreak every Monday and Friday, a group of mainly middle-aged farmers head to the Maitland gym. Three mates, including Wundy and Greg Heen, started the ritual 12 years ago.
Wundy? Morning!
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 Morning! Morning, boys! Morning!
Greg joined the gym after his wife bought him 3 personal training sessions.
Your wife is kind of responsible for this.
She is, yes. I kept driving past and I thought, I wouldn't mind doing that, but never did. And I was the only male at that time in there.
Once they ventured inside, they were hooked.
Have a look at this. 267.
Yeah.
I think that's your best.
It's a PB.
We just couldn't believe after 2 or 3 weeks of cardio how much better we felt. All of a sudden your work day became a bit easier. Eventually I think we all stopped snoring, so that was a plus. And yeah, and then we just thought, well, wouldn't it be good if we could get a few more people involved?
It took a breakfast barbie to fire up some enthusiasm.
That's all I've got.
But that paid off when 20 more farmers signed up.
Time to go home at 10.
As for the catchy, if not politically correct name, well, Greg may have had a hand in that.
Coming to play!
Silverback gorilla.
One day I came in years ago and I just yelled out, hey, effing fat farmers, and it stuck. The name is stuck. So I'll claim it. Wundy might claim it as well.
Have there been any moves to change the name?
We've certainly been asked the question if we'd like to change the name, maybe to Fit Farmers, but any time we've done a survey with all the people involved, they've said that they love the name, they wouldn't have come if it was anything else, so we've just kept it at that.
Behind the tongue-in-cheek name and the constant ribbing
I'm worried the big boy's going to have a heart attack.
are some life-changing results. Young farmer Cameron Ferguson now goes to the gym even when the fat farmers aren't there. He says to begin with, his fitness was pretty much non-existent.
I don't even think I've ever done a push-up before I come down here. So it was definitely a change for me now. I think it was only a couple sessions in and I I could actually do like 10 push-ups now. And that was a pretty big achievement for me, to be honest.
Oh, look at that, Shorty. Good job.
Socialising in and after class has also played a big part in keeping them there.
Oh, cut that! That whole joy of teamwork that you might have had playing sport, you just about get that back again, to be honest. And if something happens to go wrong somewhere in the community, you've then got a heap of people that are sort of looking out for you, perhaps on a different level.
Everyone's like you.
Ben's been surprised by what an impact the combination of mateship and exercise has had on the farmer's mental health.
Probably the most significant one, we've had a fella that was probably doing it pretty tough, and and his wife actually rang me and said we saved his life. And I think, I think that's what really just keeps me inspired to just keep pushing on.
Now, when the fat farmers go on their annual pilgrimage to the City to Bay event, they don't just come from Maitland. They come from 18 rural centres, including a couple in New South Wales and Victoria.
Once I could see the benefit it had made in our little community, I just thought, well, if we could share this, it's pretty powerful, really.
And one of the newest communities to sign up is Millicent in the southeast of South Australia.
Back.
Sam Crozer is a third-generation mixed farmer who a few years ago experienced the toll life on the land can take when you don't step away for a breather.
You can do it for so long, but it's not sustainable in the long run, I guess. So I did reach a point where I'd pushed myself too hard and it was getting a bit much, I suppose.
His wife Nicole is a regular gym goer who also works with young people on their well-being and resilience. And she could see something was missing for farmers like her husband.
I think our farmers are fantastic at putting everybody else first. I think they're really, really hard workers. But when it actually comes to doing things that are for themselves, that are really helpful in terms of mental health, just overall well-being, I think sometimes that gets put to the back burner.
So they didn't hesitate when they were approached to start a fat farmers group in Millicent.
Morning, boys. How are we? Morning.
They invited a bunch of middle-aged blokes who no longer played sport for a 1-hour early morning gym session every Friday.
A couple of guys went, oh yeah, I'll give that a go. And they're like, what is it? And I was like, oh, I don't know, we'll just wing it and see what happens. And then a few guys were like, no way, gym is not for me. And I was like, all right, fair enough. And if you had asked me a few years ago, I probably would have had the same response. You think gym, mirrors and blokes pumping weights and, you know, that's not our thing.
Start off with some squats.
As was the case in Maitland, a few wives helped to get some of the reluctant gym goers through the door.
So many of them were on board. It was actually really cool. There were a lot of elbows in the bed the morning before the gym. Off you go, a lot of encouragement.
They've since found the gym is not what they expected, and a weekly workout goes a surprisingly long way on the farm.
We're all mixed farmers, so sometimes we'll spend a month or two on a tractor, and then we'll expect to do a week solid of drenching sheep or crutching or something, and we punish ourselves, and then we wonder why we're sore, I suppose. So at least this way we're using all those muscles a little bit all the time. You can do it.
Some of the moves, including the appropriately named farmer's carry, seem like second nature for people used to hauling tractor batteries around. But some of the less strenuous exercises have exposed a few gaps in their fitness.
Piano strings today.
It was very evident, just in the first warm-up, righto, let's, touch our toes, like let's do a stretch. Guys are getting halfway down their shin and they're like, whoa, I've done a lot of shearing, I've done a lot of crutching, and it was pretty obviously we needed a bit of help.
Boxing is also pushing them out of their comfort zone.
This one's easy, you're sitting down.
Someone who's more than up for the challenge is Andrew Skier, who has already overcome so much.
Concentrate. So when I was 10, I was involved in a farming accident and lost my right leg above the knee. So I guess my life changed dramatically from then on, but it didn't end. It just changed to a different direction, and I had to learn to walk again. But everything from then on for me is always a challenge. So, if someone could say, you can't do this, I would tend to say, yes, I can. See if I can beat that.
The gym's given him the opportunity to regain some childhood skills, which he's quite chuffed showing off at home.
I guess one new skill that I have learned is learning to skip, something I haven't done since I was 10 years old, and obviously I was pretty excited about that. Come on! Come on!
Andrew has grown up on this property, the third generation to farm here.
Go slowly there now.
And while it is raining today, the wet weather is not enough to correct one of the driest seasons in years in what is traditionally reliable country.
Pretty much had a green drought, which is where we can see green grass in the paddock, but there's not enough for the animals.
It's looking pretty ordinary. I just sit tight. Could be a fair few cattle coming in.
The gym session is a chance to de-stress with those who understand the strain of a poor season.
I guess everyone realises that everyone in that room is in the same boat. You know, they're all doing the same thing, having to feed livestock, having to find, you know, money or feed that they don't necessarily have. So, and then obviously dry sowing is not something that we do here very often, but everyone was dry sowing, so it's reassuring that everyone's in the same boat.
Farming talk aside, this is also a chance to switch off and share a few laughs.
That's it, guys.
Thank God for that. There's no phone calls.
You look like a half-open pot after.
There's no business being done. There's no kids hassling you. It's just 1 hour to yourself with a few mates.
Silly old bugger.
I kind of look at it like we service our tractors and we do preventative maintenance on that. We don't do that for ourselves or our bodies or our minds, so this is just, I just see it as, you know, preventative maintenance.
And while they are still on the sidelines at footy training,
Get in there, Hugo.
the Millicent fat farmers are already inspiring other producers in the southeast to find alternative ways to stay physically and mentally fit once their kids take over on the sports field.
Just make sure you're Mickey Mouse for the morning.
Yeah.
I would love every small community to actually have a group of fat farmers. I think Millicent has been a really good pilot for us down here, and I think now that the word of mouth is actually getting around, that it's a really positive thing.
And as far-flung fat farmers come together at the end of the city to bay, it's clear this is more than a fitness program for middle-aged men. Women and whole families are now involved. In fact, there are really no rules when it comes to who can wear the attention-grabbing T-shirt, except one.
You don't need to come to the gym if you have not got a gym. Get a group, get to the shearing shed, make something of it in a shed in your local town.
Okay, fat farmers, everyone over here for a group photo, please.
I just want people to move, get out and do it, try it. What do you got to lose?
1, 2, 3, fat farmers!